Welcome to Stoic Psyche Wisdom. In today's video, we're diving deep into a story that blurs the lines between love, betrayal, and the irreversible consequences of desire. This isn't just a tale, it's a cautionary exploration of human weakness, the fragility of relationships, and the haunting question, how far is too far? My son was worried about his size, so I helped him. A true infidelity story. The moment everything changed. They say life's most pivotal moments don't announce themselves with thunder. They slither in unnoticed, soft, unassuming, until the weight of them crushes you. It was an ordinary Thursday, the kind where sunlight drips lazily through the windows and the air hums with quiet monotony. Edward was at the clinic. The housekeeper had left early. I had just finished a call with the vineyard manager when I noticed the laundry basket at the foot of the stairs. Caleb's laundry. At 22, he was still forgetful, still leaving traces of himself scattered around the house like breadcrumbs. I didn't mind. It was one of the small ways I could still care for him. I carried the basket to the laundry room, humming absently as I folded his clothes. His scent clung to the fabric, cedar, citrus, something unmistakably him. My hands moved mechanically until they brushed against a crumpled pair of navy sweatpants at the bottom. And then, a ridge beneath the fabric. At first, I thought it was a seam, a misplaced cord. But the weight, the shape. My breath hitched. I knew. I dropped the pants like they'd burned me, but it was too late. The image was already seared into my mind. Thick, heavy, wrong. My pulse roared in my ears. That moment, that single, accidental discovery, was the first domino in a chain reaction that would unravel everything. The illusion of a perfect life. On paper, my life was enviable. A sprawling estate in Napa Valley, draped in golden light and the perfume of lavender. High ceilings, handcrafted wood beams, the kind of quiet luxury that whispered old money. I was 48, married to Edward Hartwell, a respected cardiologist, a man who never raised his voice, who remembered names at charity galas, who was admired by everyone who knew him. We were the couple who had it all. But behind closed doors, silence. Edward's touch had become perfunctory. A hand on my back at parties, a dutiful peck on the cheek before bed. I used to measure love in stolen glances, in the heat of a lingering kiss. Now it felt like I was a painting on the wall, admired, but never touched. And then there was Caleb, not ours by blood. Edward's best friend's son, orphaned at 16 in a car crash. We took him in without hesitation. He was broken then, withdrawn, drowning in grief. But over the years, he grew into something striking, tall, thoughtful, a quiet strength in the way he carried himself. At first, I loved him, like a mother loves a wounded child. I cooked his favorite meals, reminded him to take his allergy meds, kissed his forehead when he left for school. But then, something shifted. The slow, insidious transformation. It didn't happen overnight. It was in the way his voice deepened, the way his shoulders broadened. The softness of boyhood gave way to something sharper, more defined. Girls started calling. He shrugged them off at first, then stopped mentioning them altogether. He grew quieter, guarded, like he was carrying something too heavy for his age. And I noticed, not just as a guardian, but as a woman, the way he ran a hand through his hair, the way he stood barefoot in the kitchen, drinking orange juice straight from the bottle. It wasn't desire, not yet, but it was something, a spark, a dangerous flicker in the dark. And in the silence of my marriage, even the smallest ember felt like fire. The night, everything shattered. The house was quiet. Edward was at a conference. I poured myself a half glass of wine, listening to the hum of the shower upstairs. The bathroom door was slightly ajar. I should have turned away, but I didn't. Through the fogged mirror, I saw him, Caleb, under the spray of water, his body tense, his breath ragged. Our eyes met in the reflection. Neither of us moved. Then, softly, he said my name, Claire. And just like that, the line was crossed. The aftermath, a life in ruins. What followed was a slow-motion collapse. Edward found out, not through shouting or suspicion, but through cold, clinical evidence, hotel receipts, security footage. The divorce papers arrived without fanfare. Caleb disappeared. And I became someone else. A ghost. A woman with a new name. Working night shifts at a gas station, pretending my hands don't shake when I remember. The unanswerable question, do I regret it? I miss Caleb's laugh. I miss the way Edward hummed when he shaved. But mostly, I miss who I was before the glances lingered too long, before I let myself believe I could rewrite the rules without consequences. Some doors, once opened, can never be closed, and yet we keep reaching for the handle, don't we? We convince ourselves that we'll step back in time, that we'll undo the moment, the glance, the touch, before it's too late. But life doesn't work that way. Some choices are like stones dropped into still water. The ripples spread, and you can't unmake them. The cost of crossing the line. I used to think infidelity was about passion, a reckless, burning thing that consumed everything in its path. But the truth, it's quieter than that. It's the slow erosion of who you are. It's looking in the mirror one morning and realizing the person staring back is a stranger. It's the way guilt doesn't always scream. Sometimes it just hums in the background, a constant gnawing static. And the worst part? It's realizing too late that you weren't just betraying your spouse. You were betraying yourself. The lies we tell ourselves. I told myself it wasn't really wrong. Edward doesn't see me anymore. Caleb isn't really my son. This is just filling a void. But here's the thing about lies. Even the ones we whisper to ourselves, they rot from the inside out. And by the time you notice the decay, it's already too late. The fallout, a life reduced to ashes. Edward didn't yell. He didn't cry. He just left. No dramatic fights, no begging for explanations. Just a signed envelope on the kitchen counter and the sound of the front door closing for the last time. Caleb, he vanished like smoke. No goodbyes, no final words. Just an empty room and the ghost of what we'd done. And me? I became Susan. A woman with no past, no connections, just a name on a gas station name tag and a hollow space where my life used to be. The lesson I never wanted to learn. People talk about mistakes like they're lessons, like the pain is worth it because you grew. But some mistakes don't teach you anything. They just break you. And the only thing left is learning how to live with the cracks. Would you have walked away? I'll leave you with this. Have you ever been tempted? Ever stood at the edge of something you knew was wrong, but the pull was too strong to resist? What stopped you? Or what didn't? Drop a comment below. Tell me your story. Because sometimes the only thing louder than regret is knowing you're not alone. And if you're standing at that door right now, hand hovering over the handle, ask yourself one question. Is this a door you're prepared to never close?